Okay, welcome to lesson 51. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about decimal parts of a number. However, I don't really like the way that they're explaining it in your lesson, so I'm going to teach you a slightly different way. And this is actually a key concept that will help you in the future. So really listen to this. If you ever hear in a word problem or any other sort of algebra equation, if you ever hear of the word of, you know that of means multiplication. So instead of an X, I'm going to make a dot, since we're using a dot to indicate multiplication. So if you ever heard a word problem or were reading some other equation that says of, just think wherever that sentence says of, think multiplication. And then lastly, wherever you see is, well, is means an equal sign. We might have talked about this in another lesson, but I just wanted to review this because the way that they describe the decimal part of a number in your book is, I think, a little more confusing than helpful. So I think it's better to just understand these two concepts so that when you read one of the problems, you can easily translate it. So let's look at one of the problems. Example 51.1 says, I'll just copy this down. What decimal part, so we know we're going to end up with a decimal, of 240 is 90. Oops, I was kind of helping you all out already. Is 90. So I would start by copying the whole sentence down, at least for starters. Later on you can go ahead and skip that step, but for the first time I would definitely copy it down. And then let's go ahead and translate this. So see this section here that says what decimal part? That's an unknown. So let's choose a variable. We could choose x, y, b, n. This time I'll just choose an n. Now next I see the word of, and we remember that of means multiplication, so I'll draw a dot. 240, we can just copy that down. Next I see is. Is means equals, the equal sign, so I'll put that down there and then write down the 90. So now we have an algebraic equation that we can actually solve. N times 240 equals 90. And let's go ahead and do that together. The goal is always to get n by itself, or to get the variable by itself. So this whole side needs to be divided by 240. If we do something to one side, we have to do it to the other side. Now on the left, 240 on the numerator and in the denominator cancel out. So we're left with simply an n on the left side. And on the right side we have 90 over 240. Or that would be simplified to, let's see, divided by 10, that would just be a 9. Divided by 10, that would be a 24. And we can divide both 9 and 24 by 3. So that would be a 3 on the top and an 8 on the bottom. So n equals 3 over 8. You might think, okay, I'm done. I've solved the problem. Well, not quite, because remember, we're looking for a decimal number. So let's go and quickly convert 3/8 to a decimal. 3 divided by 8. Remember, the numerator always goes on the inside. Oops. 7. Okay, and we get n equals 0.375. So I think this is a little easier. They have this other way in the book that talks about using F's and A's and B's and D's, but I think it's easier just to remember these 2 points. Of equals, or means multiplication, is means an equal sign, and then simply translate the equation. And then remember, what am I looking for? Oh yeah, I'm looking for a decimal, so make sure to convert it to a decimal. If it's asking for a fraction, you might have to take a fraction and convert it, a decimal and convert it to a fraction. But in this case, they were looking for a decimal. Alright, this has been Lesson 51. Let me know if you have any questions.